This is the story of Martin Luther King Jr., the preacher who transformed a nation's pain into a movement for justice. He led the Montgomery bus boycott, proving that peaceful protest could shake an unjust system. His words electrified crowds and traveled across an entire nation. In the year 1963, he stood on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and spoke of a dream that changed history. He paid the ultimate price, but his dream continues to live and inspire. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia, to Martin Luther King Sr. and Alberta Williams King. He grew up under Jim Crow, separate schools, separate fountains, separate futures. At Ebenezer Baptist Church, he watched his father preach courage and dignity. At 15, he entered Morehouse College, mentored by President Benjamin Mays, who insisted that moral leadership was service. He studied theology at Crozier Seminary, then pursued a doctorate at Boston University, sharpening a philosophy of nonviolence. In Boston, he met Coretta Scott, a musician with vision and resolve. They married in 1953. In 1954, he became pastor at Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. December 1955. Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat. The city arrested her. A spark lit dry timber. King was chosen to lead the Montgomery bus boycott, a nonviolent stand against segregation. The boycott lasted 381 days. People walked, carpooled, endured. Nonviolence demanded discipline. King's home was bombed. He stood on the porch and urged calm. In 1956, the Supreme Court struck down bus segregation in Montgomery. A door opened. In 1957, he co-founded the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, a movement of churches for justice. They trained in nonviolence, courage under pressure, dignity under insult, love under fire. Sit-ins spread. Students demanded lunch counters and libraries open to all. 1961, the Freedom Rides challenged segregated buses across state lines. Albany taught hard lessons: unity, timing, media, and the cost of diffuse goals. 1963, Birmingham, the most segregated city in America. Children marched when adults were jailed. Fire hoses met them. America watched. In a cell, King wrote to the conscience of the nation, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." Negotiations brought desegregation steps in Birmingham. The nation's eyes turned to Washington. August 28, 1963. The March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. He said, "I have a dream." A refrain became a national mirror. He dreamt of a table of brotherhood, where children are judged not by color, but by character. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 outlawed segregation in public places. That same year, King received the Nobel Peace Prize. But victory was not the end. The vote remained blocked by fear and cunning. 1965, Selma. The road to the ballot ran across a bridge. They were met with violence and tear gas. The nation looked again and could not look away. A second march, protected. A third, completed. From Selma to Montgomery and into law. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 became the ballot's shield. Yet poverty shadowed black and white alike. King broadened the mission. In Chicago, he faced slums, redlining, and resentment. He spoke against the Vietnam War. Conscience cannot be selective. Friends worried. Critics sharpened their knives. Still, he would not split justice into pieces. The FBI watched. Files thickened. The weight of scrutiny grew heavy. He reminded America, nonviolence is not passive. It is power harnessed by love. He carried a simple dream into complicated rooms. 1968, Memphis. Sanitation workers on strike. I am a man. He came to stand with them. He spoke of a mountaintop, of seeing the promised land from afar. April 4th, 1968. Lorraine Motel. A life aimed at love met a violent end. The nation wept. The world lowered its head. Coretta Scott King carried the torch, keeping the dream in motion. Laws would change. Hearts would struggle. Work remained. His dream moved from a speech to a standard. He taught that justice is love correcting everything that stands against love. The holiday in his name would come years later, a civic ritual of remembrance and renewal. Schools teach his words. Choirs sing his hope. He has streets and schools and scholarships. But his true monument is a changed moral vocabulary. He believed that unearned suffering is redemptive, not because pain is good, but because love must be brave. The dream is not soft. It demands discipline, courage, and strategy. He asked America to live its creed, that all are created equal. He refused to hate, because hate is too great a burden to bear. His sermons were maps, from despair to dignity, from chaos to community. He saw the arc of the moral universe and pressed it with organized hands. He reminded us, peace is not the absence of tension, but the presence of justice. He died young, but he lived large, in courage, in compassion, in vision. The dream is not a memory, it is a measurement. Ask, what does love require of our policies, our neighborhoods, our hearts? From a pulpit in Atlanta to a memorial on the Mall, the same message echoes. He once said that darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. And so, we carry the candle. We teach, we vote, we organize, we love. If this story stirred you, let it steer you. The dream is not his alone. It is ours to keep, to test, to trust. Like, share, and subscribe for more deep dive histories of those who dared to turn love into law.